Yeah, whatever.
Woo!
Whatever. What fucking ever, huh?
What do you mean, whatever?
So you guys see, we did that episode, Happy Fun Time for Monetize. That was Paul's episode.
Yeah, we did it.
Supposed to do something for Pompeii, but just blew that off, I guess. That doesn't matter.
Blow off, Paul.
Anyway, so I saw
Fuck
there was
you, TJ.
Well, you're going to say, don't fuck me. Save your animosity for this guy, because you know what he said?
What do you say?
This guy on Twitter, I'm not even going to say his name. I'm not even going to show his shit because whatever. He's an he doesn't
idiot.
deserve it.
Okay.
But here's what he said about
What did
that
he say?
episode. He said, weak and lazy.
Oh.
If this is all you got, then it's no surprise they're just steamrolling over you.
Oh, no.
Show me what you got.
I love the idea that if we were just a little bit more innovative, YouTube wouldn't be able to steamroll over us. It's not the fact that they have all the money, all the resources, the power dynamic is totally on their side, 100%. It's nothing to do with any of that.
We're not that smart.
And
It's just that our episode
not even our
was
position.
too weak.
Well, that's
too
not even our
lazy.
position. Like, we're not in the position where YouTube demonetizing us has steamrolled us. A lot of people are. But, we are a Patreon-backed place, which is what this show here is for. The patrons, TJ.
Patreon.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about that shit because we got you guys.
We got the Patreon.
We got you, baby.
Think about blocking them, though.
Blocking who?
Blocking all the patrons.
Block the patrons.
Block all the patrons.
Yeah.
I don't think
I think
go with
TJ,
No?
No.
Not a good
in
idea.
the
think
great
it's a good
blocking
idea.
of 2019, you probably did block some patrons, TJ.
I did.
Oh, I've heard from some.
Yeah, and they came to me and they're like, oh, you blocked me and I've given you money. It's like, you know what? Take your money, shove it up your fucking ass, bitch.
Oh my God, TJ's imploding.
Actually, I unblocked some of them. If they
You better
begged,
unblock all of them.
If they begged,
better unblock all of them.
begged nice enough, I'll fucking do it.
Slap his lips.
Why are you trying to smack me? Why are you trying to smack? Why are you trying to use violence against me?
This is the only way
You're
TJ
trying to use
learns.
violence to censor me.
of the patrons. Die.
Why? Why? I'm being abused. Call the police. Paul, call the police.
I'm not calling nobody.
Paul, call the police, Paul.
No, you deserve this.
No. Ow.
Now, TJ,
Call the police.
you apologize to those patrons that you
Whoop. That's the
TJ,
sound of the police.
You do not block patrons. Bad, TJ.
No. I'll block
Bad
anyone I want.
TJ.
I'll block them all.
No.
Gotta block them all.
TJ Kurt.
Patreon.
just. Oh man, TJ, you suck.
If only there was a blockchain app where I could block all the patrons.
TJ versus his audience, dude. Why?
Ooh, Rick and Morty.
Where's Rick and Morty?
Yeah, Rick
On
and
my
Morty.
cup.
On his cup.
Oh,
It's
cute.
a Rick and Morty. Oh, and look at that.
Cute.
Isn't that precious?
You have to have a very high IQ to understand Rick and Morty.
You really do. That show doesn't make any sense to an idiot like me.
People who are dumb, like Scotty and Paul, don't understand the ingenious writing or
I sure
characters
don't.
and situations involved in Rick and Morty. But I do, because I am a high IQ individual.
Actually, money people don't understand.
Why
the deeper.
Salvador's having a
You're
meltdown.
poorly behaved dog, TJ. It's such a professional
Once again,
podcast we run
I know. It really
Oh,
is.
Boy, you shouldn't send me your ass down, boy. Shut up. I want to say what we got. Deal with the dog here.
We got dogs barking.
Got dogs barking.
Oh,
what
boy.
the
We really are just, we're a homebrewed garage cast. You know what I mean? What do you want us to do?
Not have a dog barking, maybe.
One
Is
of
it
these
too
days.
much to ask?
One of these days, dude. I'm telling you. I see.
Because these dumb
Now,
twats.
you brought the dog in here, dude.
Well, because these dumb twats out there are standing out there with their damn dog in the middle of the damn street,
How dare
inciting
they?
Salvador's
How
rage.
dare they?
And ire.
Monsters.
They provoked his rage.
Look at these
did
ruffians
they?
Yeah.
standing in the street while my dog has to look at them, contain his rage and his defense
So
of
you
his own
just
territory.
enforce his barking ways by letting him in here and giving him all kinds of love and adoration.
Yeah, good job.
For being
Good
a
job,
barking
Bark
piece of
Doing
shit.
Podcast.
Yeah. Well, I don't have nowhere else I can put him. The place I'd normally put him has a fucking demon cat in it. So
You claim it's a demon cat. I've not seen that cat act anyway, but
Dude,
sweet.
TJ's house, dude. Dude, I love that. I posted that fucking scene from Cats dude, because it just had me rolling thinking about TJ's house, dude. It's just cat on dog, on lizard, on just chaos. One of them in each room, sequestered away from the rest of them so they don't kill each other.
In a few years, there'll be the TJ Zoo, dude. We're gonna
Yep.
come here, be fucking out front. $10 to get in. $10 to get in to see the TJ Zoo.
You'll have to swing across a vine, to get across the gorge to see TJ's house.
God fucking damn it.
You have to feed the lion a piece of meat so he won't attack you.
Why come do it be? That's what I want to know. Well, whatever.
I don't know. TJ.
You know what? You seem a little angry lately.
You seem a little stupid lately.
Why do you seem so angry?
Well, that's a lifelong
lately?
condition,
It is so
TJ.
true, though. TJ does.
I can't
seem
get over my
angry.
stupid. You can't get over
I
your
seem
anger.
angry?
You seem angry.
I don't feel angry.
TJ does seem a little angry lately,
seem
and I'm
angry,
not even
TJ.
joking.
You're
You do
angry.
seem like you got some anger inside, TJ.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you've been spiteful, TJ.
I've been spiteful.
Yeah, you've been.
TJ, could you actually do your job for once? Put up the first image, please. Could you kindly do that, TJ?
No.
Please,
No, I'm not.
TJ, please.
See,
not.
this is angry
Please,
behavior.
I'm not doing it.
TJ, this is what you would try to invert the power dynamic.
If
We're
you
asking
beg
you to do,
for me to do it, I'll do it.
I'm not going to beg, TJ. I'm going to ask you in a
Get
polite
down on your hands and
respectful
knees
manner.
and beg for the first image.
I'm going to ask you in a polite and respectful manner to please switch to the next image.
Shove your polite and respectful manner up your fucking
I'm
ass.
very offended that you would speak to me in such a way, such a tone, TJ. I have nothing but
the
respect
fuck?
for you.
You know what?
I've admired
I
your
guess,
career, TJ.
I guess, Scotty, the sooner I put it up, the sooner you'll shut your fucking mouth. So here you go.
Thank you, TJ.
Here's your stupid fucking image, you little bitch.
I'm really, I'm thrilled, TJ, that you have finally
that was
acquiesced to my
unnecessary.
request
Here's your stupid fucking image.
to put the image on screen. Thank you so much.
It
TJ.
is on the screen.
Thank
What do
you
you want?
for
You want
that.
me to put it on the screen again?
Yes, you put it on the screen again, please.
Here you go. It's again.
Thank you, TJ. I appreciate it.
Doubly on the screen.
So, TJ, I'm pretty upset about tonight's episode.
You know, maybe I'll make it real small. How
pretty
about
up-
that?
Yep, thank you, TJ.
You like that? You like when it's real small where you can barely fucking see
It's
it?
great. Thank you, man.
Is that what you want, Scotty?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's not fine. You stupid. You're going to let the whole audience suffer just for a fucking bit, Scotty? Fuck you.
It's not a bit, TJ. I'm just trying to be calm,
You're not calm.
rational right now.
You're the
TJ.
angriest
Collected.
one here, Scotty. You're
I'm not
pissed.
angry. I'm not angry, TJ.
You're just
I've-
fucking fire
TJ.
running through the veins.
I have walked away from the path of anger.
Okay.
I have walked away from it, TJ.
Roger that. Didn't you strangle me like fucking 2 minutes ago?
I don't recall those events.
Okay.
I think you're thinking of Paul. Paul did that.
So tonight's episode is about anger,
I'm
correct?
so TJ, actually, something I wrote about this episode. I'm pretty upset about tonight's episode. I hated researching it. Filled to the brim with anger. Just look at the pair of bloviating blowhards seated next to me. You guys kind of disgust me on a personal note, but
That's fine.
That's neither here nor there. Tonight's episode
I can understand Paul, but I mean, why
is
would
an
I?
Shut up, TJ. Is an examination into what drives anger, TJ. Why we get angry. What happens when we become slaves to its embrace.
Cool.
Join us as we guide you through another one of the 7 deadly sins, which is anger or wrath. So, TJ, let me ask you a question. What is anger or wrath? What do you think
What
it
is it?
What is it? And don't look at it. I know you have the thing in front
All
of
right,
you,
all
but
right, all right. I'll put it away.
what's the TJ definition?
I mean, it's when your jubblies get all discombobulated, you know?
Okay.
No, I don't know. I mean, it's like, something happens, and,
You get pissed.
I mean, I guess nothing really has to happen.
Yeah, usually.
I don't know. I'm trying to
something
figure out
happens.
what physically anger feels like. Usually there's like, it feels like there's heat.
Because we have different kind of angry
Yeah.
angry type personalities. Like you're a very slow building anger.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
what is
like,
your anger
I don't know,
like
there's
when you
like,
experience it?
There's like heat in my chest, especially, and like tension, and like I start to feel like less impulse control, and my face will start to feel flush as well, and they'll just become an overpowering urge to like, I don't know, break something or damage something or lash out.
Which you often do.
I don't know.
Because I've noticed with your anger, TJ, it's like most people have like some restraint when they're like, if TJ is truly angry, like there's no restraint with TJ. Like he'll hit, kick, destroy, whatever. Like he's punched holes in walls, he's destroyed computer monitors, crash cars.
that's true.
You run the gamut. So I think your anger is like probably the worst kind of anger that I've seen.
Destructive anger.
Like you have TJ's a very destructive.
Yeah.
So Paul, what is your anger?
There's an urge towards
I
destruction.
mean,
yeah.
I grew up in a household that where like anger and angry yelling and arguing was how everything got solved. So that's how I do it. When I get angry, I'm not likely to hit anybody or destroy anything. I'm much more likely to just yell and scream and say abusive, horrible things.
So do you feel like you repress anger at all, or do you feel like
I try.
you mainly express
I think you
anger?
kind of have to be in society. So yeah.
Well, sure, to some degree.
Yeah, to some degree, I feel like I have to. But
TJ, do you repress a lot of anger, would you say?
I don't.
Because I mean, like I said, you're kind of a slow. Is your anger just accumulating?
I don't really feel.
Is it just building up, or is it just like you just let a lot of shit slide? And then
I don't know. I feel like there's a snapping point where something like another emotion, like frustration, which is not the same. Like, to me anyway.
well,
Like,
it can lead to anger.
Right, but I feel like once frustration flips the script and turns to anger in me, then I don't feel like there's any control. But I don't really deal with, like, I've never had to sit around suppressing anger before because I don't really get angry on, like, usually, like, my anger happens in, like, big explosive bursts and is pretty rare. Like, I don't really feel like I get super pissed super often. More often, I'm, like, frustrated, which is, usually that's a precursor to anger. And I guess that's something that, I try to, like, keep under control.
Yeah, you try to reel your anger in a lot, which I think a lot of people do. I mean, like, I think we all have moments where you get upset and angry, but we kind of just like, hey, I'm going to reel this back because I know getting really pissed off is usually not the solution to my problem.
Usually it's the fucking worst thing you can do.
Not always, but we'll get to that later.
Not always.
So the emotion anger, also known as wrath, is an intense emotional state. It involves a strong, uncomfortable, and hostile response to a perceived provocation, hurt, or threat. So I figured first, since we're obviously doing one of the 7 deadly sins, I wanted to get the biblical view of wrath, fury of anger.
Sure. What's the biblical example of this?
So in the Old Testament, the wrath of God is a divine response to human sin and disobedience. Idolatry was most often the occasion for divine wrath. Ooh. You can't be idolatry. Oh, don't. So, Psalm 78, 56 through 66, and I didn't actually pull the biblical verses, describes Israel's idolatry, which very bad. The wrath of God is consistently directed towards those who do not follow his will. Deuteronomy, Joshua, Psalms, there's a lot of places you can go read more about that, of course. The Old Testament prophets often wrote of a day in the future, the day of wrath. God's wrath against sin and disobedience is perfectly justified because his plan for mankind is holy and perfect, TJ. Just as God himself is holy and perfect.
Wholly imperfect.
Holy and perfect!
You heard what he said.
Don't you put words in my mouth, sinner! You profligate! God provided a way to gain divine favor. You know what that way is, TJ?
What?
Repentance!
Yeah, that's right.
Which turns God's wrath away from the sinner.
That's right.
To reject that perfect plan is to reject God's love, his mercy, his grace and favor, and incur his righteous wrath, TJ!
Hallelujah.
Shit.
The New Testament...
You watch your mouth, boy.
Shit.
Sorry, Paul. The New Testament, TJ, also supports the concept of God as God's wrath and judges sin. The story of a rich man and Lazarus speaks of the judgment of God and the serious consequences for the unrepentant sinner.
Oh, glory, glory, glory.
Says, and this is Luke 16:19 through 31 and John 3:36 says, whoever believes in the Son has eternal life, but whoever rejects the Son will not see life, for God's wrath remains on him.
Damn, that's rough.
The one who believes in the Son will not suffer God's wrath for his sins, because the Son took his God's wrath upon himself when he died in our place on the cross. Romans 5:6 through 11. Those who do not believe in the Son, who do not receive him as a Savior, will be judged on the day of wrath. They're like the day of wrath. That's like a big deal. There's going to be a day of wrath, TJ.
I'm pretty
God
cool with
punishes you, boy.
I mean, God is usually pretty pissed off.
Which is, I'm sure, what a lot of people would say is the kind of the genesis or the origin of, the rapture, the day of wrath, the day in which God balances the scales, boy. So
People always think of Jesus as a super nice dude, but actually, he's pissed off dude.
So you may say, why is God allowed to be angry? So it's okay for God to be fucking.
There he is. Look at him.
Yeah, he's pissed right there.
Fucking pissed.
So you might say, well, I thought it's one of the 7 deadly sins. Like, you're not supposed to be wrathful. You're not supposed to live your life according to, like, your angry emotional response. So we know anger is a very intense emotional state. We don't tend to make good decisions. But the Bible has an answer for that. Conversely, human wrath is warned against in Romans, Ephesians, and Colossians. God alone is able to avenge because his vengeance is perfect and holy, whereas man's is sinful, opening him up to demonic influence, TJ. For the Christian, Anger and wrath are inconsistent with our new nature, which is of Christ himself. To realize freedom from domination of wrath, the believer needs to have the Holy Spirit to sanctify and cleanse his heart of feelings of wrath and anger.
It's just another example of religion taking something that all people are going to feel and that you have no choice but to experience, and then saying it's inherently sinful to drive the guilt complex that gets you putting money in the collection plate and,
Well, of course. What's answering the question?
genuflecting before Jesus and all that shit.
Whatever bullshit, yeah.
Yeah, it answers a fundamental
Because
question.
all of the 7 deadly sins are basically just like normal human attributes.
Yes.
That there's nothing, I mean, obviously they can all have negative consequences, but there's nothing inherently negative about experiencing any of them. There's nothing wrong with being angry. There's plenty of instances where anger is
I am
justified.
anger.
You know, like if you walk in, and like if I walked in and someone's like fucking Salvador in the ass or something, I'm gonna be fucking angry, you know, and I
Whoa,
should be.
TJ.
What are you woeing?
I'm just saying, that's dark.
I'm just saying that, you know, if I come in here and someone's doing something fucking fucked up against me, then I have every right to be fucking angry.
Well, you should be, probably. Yeah.
Right, you know? That's what I'm saying. So in an instance like that, anger is fucking justified. Now, obviously, if it's like, oh shit, you know, I spilled a Cheerio and so I fucking, you know, throw my refrigerator out the window, then that's obviously an instance of unjustified anger. But
Sure. And there's actually is an allowance for that. So according to the Catholic Church, the neutral act of anger becomes the sin of wrath when it is directed against an innocent person, when it is unduly strong or long-lasting, or when it desires excessive punishment.
that actually seems reasonable.
If anger reaches the point of deliberate desire to kill or seriously wound a neighbor, it is gravely against charity. It is a mortal sin.
I mean, I don't really believe in the concept of sin, but I think that it's probably a good thing to say that anger to that level is probably never a good thing.
So basically, if your life becomes the
yeah.
plot to a bad revenge movie, you're probably guilty
Right.
of wrath.
Well, it sounds like they're talking about not only wrath, but I mean, like the concept of taking your anger out on people who don't deserve it.
Sure, yeah, like someone that just gets
Especially if
in
it
the way of
rises
that.
to that extent of like, I'm going to fucking kill this person because I'm mad about something that doesn't even have anything to do with them.
Right.
I mean, not that you should kill people who did have something to do with creating your anger, but, you know, obviously people who didn't or even,
Dude, is the J in TJ Jesus? Are you becoming a Christian
The
now,
Jesus?
too,
Whoa.
along with Steve Shives?
the Jesus.
Wait, Steve Shives isn't even a Christian. Oh my God, TJ. Dude, this might be an angle.
What's that?
Christian
Give my life
TJ.
to Jesus?
Yeah, dude.
Whoa.
What if I just say I'm the second coming? Can I do that? You think that's too much, too hard to
I'm
buy?
too
TJ.
passe
I'm
nowadays.
coming all the time. I'm coming to Christianity.
What if I said I was the third coming
I'm coming now.
That would be new.
and left people to guess who the second coming
Who
truly
was the second one?
You know?
That's smart. I could get behind that.
Then there's a
'cause
little
it's at least-
speculation, you
There's
know?
some spice on it.
Yeah. I don't know. It could use some work. Anyway.
So what about gender, TJ? I think gender.
What about gender?
I think it influences wrath. Do you think that has any effect on it?
I don't know.
Like being male or female.
Yeah. Of course, Paul. There's many, many different kinds of.
I would say
Not just male or female.
well, I
sorry.
mean,
very
just
offensive.
going back to the baseline binary genders of male and female.
I guess you want to do that, TJ.
Just for
I don't
the-
know why you would. It's very inaccurate.
just because I'm
And
intellectually
offensive.
lazy and yeah, I'm looking
Very
to offend
offensive.
people. But I mean, I don't know. I would say that you know, men in general are more likely to have that like hot, fiery anger, and women are more likely to have that like cold, chilly anger. Now that's definitely not true across the fucking board. But you know, I'd say in general, at least that would be my perception of it in terms of I don't know, social differences or cultural or genetic or whatever the fuck the cause might be.
So the concept of wrath contributed to a definition of gender and power. Many medieval authors in 1200 agreed the differences between men and women were based on complexion. Of course, the way your face looks, I mean, is a big
Sure,
thing.
yeah.
Your shape
Okay.
and disposition.
So what was what do they think the difference in disposition was?
We'll get to that.
Do they
Complexion
agree with me, or?
involved the balance of the four fundamental qualities of heat, coldness, moistness, and dryness.
Man, these motherfuckers overthought some shit, dude.
I like the
They had a lot of time. You know, there was no Netflix back then.
They're
so.
just like, all right, what really because that doesn't even make sense. I mean,
They had a lot of shit to think about.
We're talking about 13th century, psychology and understanding of medical science, which was non-existent basically. When various combinations of these qualities are made, they define a group of certain people as well as individuals. Hippocrates, Aristotle, and Galen all agreed on that in terms of biology.
Galen was even around back then, huh?
Yeah, Galen's been around a while, dude. He's an immortal vampire. And sexual differentiation. Or differentiation. I can't say the word.
Differentiation.
Thank you.
It's a tough one.
Heat was the most important of these qualities because it determined the shape and disposition, which it doesn't, but whatever. Disposition included a balance of the previous 4 qualities, the 4 elements, and the 4 humors. If you guys ever heard about humors before.
Yeah. That's what like a pre-modern medicine idea about
Your
the
humors
body,
had to be
and
in
there was
balance.
certain humors in different parts of the bodies, and if they got out of balance, then
That was what caused illness.
that's why they did a lot of bleeding and leeching and shit, because they thought
must-
it balanced the humors in different parts of the bodies.
Which is something we should definitely talk about in a future episode because it's a pretty fascinating concept. For example, the element of fire shared the qualities of heat and dryness. Fire dominated in yellow bile, or choler, making a choleric person was more hot and drier than others. Hot and dry individuals were active, dominant, and aggressive. The opposite was true of the element of water. Water is cold and
It's
moist,
starting to sound like a goddamn deodorant
I know.
commercial.
Yeah, it
dude.
really does, dude.
related closely to phlegm. People with more phlegmatic personalities were passive and submissive. While these traits clusters varied from individual to individual, most authors in the Middle Ages assumed certain clusters of traits characterized men more than women and vice versa, which is they thought women you tend to be more like water and cold.
Right.
So that women were submissive and passive, which kind of just fed into the the narrative of Christianity that women should be obedient to their husbands and not have much of a say in the household affairs, and they're basically just glorified slaves.
I mean,
chattel.
you're right. I think Christianity is for me, dude. Sounds pretty good.
Wow, TJ. Damn, dude. Maybe you should watch The Handmaid's Tale and get some advice from those guys.
You don't even
Yeah.
have to do that, TJ. You can fall on your knees right now and give your life to Jesus.
Should I do it?
You could.
You can do it anywhere you want. I'd be happy to walk you through the process, brother.
Do we have time, Scotty?
Oh, we don't, unfortunately. You guys, after the show, though, if you guys
After
have a
the
few
show.
minutes, I'm sure Paul can be
That's
happy
a
to walk
shame.
you through.
That's a shame.
So,
Are we ready for this yet?
yeah, we're ready for this now.
Okay. So this is top 7 Bible verses about God's wrath. Did we already go through some of these, or is this like a separate thing?
This is a separate thing.
All right, so let's check these
So,
out.
Romans 1:18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth.
All right, let's unpack that, I guess. So this is about the wrath of God.
Yes.
And the Bible has a double standard on wrath.
Yes.
So God's wrath is awesome.
Justified.
And justified in all ways. But man's
He's
wrath,
righting the wrongs of the world.
Yeah, man's wrath is total bullshit. Okay? So we
Right.
got to accept that. So this is
Do
wrath.
as I say, not as I do, TJ.
Right, so this is wrath in a very positive context. Where heaven, so let's see, for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteous. So basically he's saying that
If you don't believe, you're going to be punished.
anybody who's an ungodly, unrighteous piece of shit, God's coming for you.
Well, why wouldn't he? I mean, that's the whole thing that's the whole fucking thing that makes it work. Is if you don't do this, you're going to be punished forever.
Right, so it's like one of the little prongs of Christianity up your ass. I got you.
So riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death.
Riches do not Okay, so basically what they're saying is that when God comes to judge,
Doesn't matter how rich you are.
yeah, your material possessions and your power here on earth ain't gonna mean shit. Only if you are a righteous, God-loving son of a bitch will you be spared from the eternal wrath of God. Is that what they're saying?
Yep, repent or die, TJ.
And that's
Repent
Proverbs
or die.
11:4. So this is Psalms 2:12. Take it away, Scotty.
So, kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and you perish in the way, for his wrath is quickly kindled. Blessed are all who take refuge in him. So if you give yourself over to God, you're going to be okay. God's wrath will go, whoop. Never mind, I'm not mad at you anymore. You made the right decision.
So at least he's quick to forgive. I mean, I guess forgiveness is a big part of the whole Christian
Yeah.
scheme.
Well, God wants to forgive you. As long as you admit he is your fucking dictator, he runs the show, you ask him for forgiveness, you're all good. But if you don't, God's wrath. I mean, it's a really nice choice you have. It's either you have eternal
Right.
damnation or God.
Or God's wrath.
Yeah.
It's not bad. So Ephesians 5:6 says, "Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of these things the wrath of God comes upon the sons of disobedience."
Dude, I like that name. The Sons of Disobedience, dude.
You like it?
Yeah.
You think it's a good band name or song
Or like
name,
a revolutionary group name, dude.
Oh yeah, so you like, you want to,
Dude,
like,
maybe you had a good idea with Atheist Scum United,
We just had the
TJ, but
wrong
you was
name.
just poisoned with the atheism concept as its central core.
Well, this one would have sod as its,
Right, sod, yeah.
which you could. I think that's also like a name for like an idiot, but it's also like could describe like a sodomite or like one who's
Right.
turned against God.
It's
or
also
something.
just a term for earth.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I like that they wrote here.
Dirt.
About,
So there's a lot of different meanings.
So there is no shortage of feel-good preachers out there today, and they are deceiving many with empty words, and these empty words are their message. Some say there's no hell, no wrath. God accepts all sin and condones human behavior, but they are deceiving themselves and many others too. But the wrath of God will be more fierce on those who teach such lies and emit from the pulpit messages that the need for repentance, the necessity of forgiveness, the cross, living a holy life and obeying God. So liberal Christians are going to hell too, basically.
right, and basically,
And a
what
worse hell.
What they're saying there is basically like you queers might think that you're all right, but you ain't. Because that's the main sin that they're tired of people.
You know
accepting
what?
At this point.
I'm done with this shit. I've had enough of this Christian shit. It's such a downer, dude.
You don't like the downer?
Let's see what the different types of anger are. And that was actually for the woman one, but whatever.
It's a little-
She does look angry.
She does look upset.
I don't think you ever actually got into to what the Bible thought the differences were between men and women in terms of temperament.
That was really more what the religious scholars of the time thought. Basically, those people were interpreting the Bible, that the women had different humors and the balances, and that women tended to be more submissive. You think they would have said more angry, but actually, of course, because of the time, like we said, they wanted them to be more submissive, so their humors and stuff were balanced in a more wet and moist way.
I see. Moist.
Well, Paul, of course, you have to take it there.
Hey, sorry.
So these are the 9 types of anger.
The ladies get that way.
So which one is yours? So we're going to find out today, guys, what our type of anger is.
Mine's the moist kind, ladies.
Paul's anger's so wet.
So you avoid anger.
Me?
Do you avoid anger, Paul? Is that your anger type?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I don't know if it's the perfect way to describe it because I do sometimes avoid it, but yeah, I'd say I do.
Well, let's read the description.
Right.
When you're mad, you say nothing about it.
Okay, sometimes I do. That does happen.
When you're feeling all kinds of agitated,
But the reason,
don't
but
dare
see, here's
show
I
it,
have a
blah, blah,
reason for
blah.
that though. When I'm mad, I say nothing about it because sometimes when I'm mad, I say things that I don't want to say.
Right.
Like I say mean things.
Right.
So I tend to I guess that wouldn't be avoiding anger, but I tend to try and set it aside until I can contextualize it before I talk to somebody about it.
So maybe
If
that,
I go in piping hot, it's likely I'm going to provoke a fist fight with a dude
Yeah,
or
which is not fun.
like just make somebody feel horrible, and I don't want to do that. There's no point.
Well, let's say this is like your overall anger style. So this probably does not fit any of us.
You hold a grudge.
What does this even mean?
Let's read, I guess. If you can't let go of anger and refuse to forgive, you may have what Sacco calls petrified anger. It's kind of like keeping a vendetta against someone who you believe wronged you, he explained.
I'd know.
And that anger is all based on being right.
I tend to be more like if I have a real problem with somebody that can't be solved by me just avoiding that person, then I tend to go work it out with them.
I will tell you that this is the anger style of someone that I know in my life.
Oh yeah, TJ.
That's
Are you
right.
just gonna drop it that way and just
Yep.
leave it there?
Damn,
You're not gonna tell
TJ.
us who?
Yeah.
All right, TJ.
Passive
You're gonna tell us
aggressive.
who the grudge bearer.
I see
is?
this could possibly be TJ's.
You give an enthusiastic sure, no problem when a colleague asks for a favor, but then oops, forget to do it or do it late and not well. You say
TJ.
it's fine when it's really not, or whatever when you really mean no.
Yep.
These are all classic passive-aggressive behaviors or patterns of indirectly expressing negative feelings instead of openly addressing them.
Got it.
Passive-aggressive people get sneaky with their anger, explains Sacco. This could be me. This is, I
this
think this might fit. This sounds like shit I do. Tormented by texting? Is that a type of anger now?
What?
And why that can happen makes sense. Words are being communicated in shortcuts, abbreviations, and icons, says Sacco. Attended messages are often incomplete, and the receiver is often left to his or her own devices to decipher and interpret what is probably being said. So basically, it's like you read a tweet.
I don't know. This one, yeah.
Or
I
a
can't
text or something, and you go, what the fuck is this?
Whatever.
What do they
I
mean?
don't care. Who cares about this millennial?
Online
this also
rage.
TJ.
So social media shit,
Well,
definitely.
I feel like this is probably at least all of us to some extent.
Well, yeah,
Nah, dude, I
we've
don't
all
rage
been
on
at least guilty.
For
of
those
this.
who frequent Facebook, Twitter, and other social media sites, prepare to not be shocked. A study from Beihang University in China
Commies.
found that anger is the most viral of emotions. Yeah, that makes
Viral?
sense. Yeah, well, I mean, like it's the
Yeah.
most quick to spread.
Got it. Yeah. Well, people like it because I think most people are the first type of anger. They bottle it up.
Anger is your everyday.
Oh shit, Paul, this might be you, man.
I think this is Scotty.
What?
If that's what you're feeling morning to night and most of the time in between, your anger may be habitual or chronic, says Sacco. You know, I'm starting to get pissed at the name Sacco.
Yeah, fuck
you
you,
know?
Sacco.
Sacco, you piece of
Or
shit.
Sacco
Sounds like a
or whatever.
clown.
Well, it's gonna be
it
both
is.
of us, TJ. But
Growing up in a family where anger is the norm,
Yes.
it becomes your way of life, and it's what you've always known. Habitual anger is much like an addiction.
Yeah, this is probably closest to what I would say is mine. Honestly, and I don't feel like I'm angry all day, every day. I have fun.
Sure.
I have chill moments where I'm not angry, but I do tend to deal with things in that way, and it can be tough for people that don't. You know what I mean? Especially living with me.
Right.
So yeah,
Well, I mean,
I would say that this one probably is the closest to me if I had to pick one.
This kind of reminds me of my dad. I mean, like, he was like, every little obstacle or problem that he had was always like, fucking goddamn toaster, you know. It's
Yeah.
like, well,
yeah, I know, right?
My family was like this, right? There'd be a problem, whatever the problem was. Like, okay, I'll give you one that happened all the fucking time. I was supposed to mow the lawn, and it's Saturday, and it's like 6 p.m., and I haven't done it yet, right? My mom's pissed because she thinks it's not going to get done. And so instead of just coming to me and going, hey, go mow the lawn before the sun goes down, go, go, go. You know what I mean? She would come to me like, you little ungrateful son of a bitch. And I'd be like, fuck you, I was going to go do it.
What you weren't.
You know what I mean? And like both of us would just have this eruption of anger, and then whatever was needed getting done would get done because I'd angrily go, well, fuck you, fine, and I'd go angrily do the lawn. You know what I mean?
Imagine 13-year-old Paul.
Right.
fucking bitch, don't tell me what to do.
Dude, one time my mom oh, dude, it was hilarious. She did, well, I guess it was kind of passive-aggressive sometimes, too, because this is definitely passive-aggressive, what I'm about to tell you. But it's funny. She parked, because it was a day that I needed to do the lawn, and in her mind, if you had to do the lawn, you get up by like 9 a.m. at the latest, and you're doing the lawn.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Dude, I was still dead. I was fucking like 14. or
Yeah,
some
there's no
shit.
way you were awake then.
She went and started the lawnmower right under my bedroom window. You know what I mean? Like right outside it, and pushed it back and forth that one little inch. You know, and it just never left. I put the pillow over my head. And it just got worse until I finally went out there, and as soon as I saw her, she was like, oh, finally up to do this, huh? Great, I got it going for you. You can just take it from me. You know, and I was like, oh, my God. It's like, fuck you. I'm not even awake yet. I want to go drink some coffee or something. No. You get out of here and do the blah, blah. So, you know, that's how we just dealt with shit. Our family was very volatile on both sides. My dad was the same way. So I think that one's me for sure.
Dude, me and TJ used to have these big disputes about like dishes. So like, I remember a time my mom was like, I have a solution to it. We're gonna put a chart down, and every time one of you needs to cross your name, so like we would have to like perfect it. If you cross your name off, TJ might come behind me and cross them. So like I have to know where my mom was,
Right.
and I have to go cross the name off and be like, "Mom, it's TJ's turn to do the dishes." And my mom's like, "Let me go check." And TJ would try to scramble in there before my mom would get there, but it would be too late. She'd be like, "TJ, it's your turn." Oh, I got him a couple times, dude. But like we go back and forth so often.
Maybe
like
that's what I need.
she made the list, and the list was like done in like a few days. She's like,
There'd only been like 2 loads of laundry done, but the list was complete because we'd kept scratching each other's name out next so that it was like the other's
I remember a
turn.
time too. We lived in Washington, like when we were kids, like maybe 12 or 13, and like you trashed your side of the room. And normally, like for years, you just always paid me, Scotty, I'll give you $20. And like I remember I looked and it was like TJ under TJ's bed was just filled to the brim with fucking trash. Like behind the TV, which is on his side of the room, filled with trash. Like there's like popsicle sticks that are melted to like vents and shit. It was
funky.
it was just fucking disgusting. He's like, Scott, I'll give you like $10 to do this, and I'm like, man, fuck you, TJ. I ain't doing shit. I go downstairs. TJ's like, comes gets me, man, Scotty, please. And it's really weird because normally like I'm bugging TJ. He's like, man, please come upstairs, just talk to me at least. I'm like, all right, TJ, I'll come talk to you. Scotty, you gotta fucking do this shit, man! I ain't cleaning my fucking room! Take the money! take the money, take the money. And I'm like, no, TJ, I'm not fucking doing it, man. I'm not fucking cleaning your shit up. Clean your own shit up. And dude, TJ cleaned the room. It took fucking forever. Oh my God. Like I had to go to bed so late. 'Cause my mom was like, I'm not, you know, your mom gets that mode. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, TJ. Cause she'd clean up his messes. You're going to clean this shit up. TJ picks it up like one little thing.
One popsicle stick at a time.
Yeah, I was like...
Walk it down the hall to the trash can.
And eventually, like, at midnight, I think TJ cleaned up enough. My mom was like, push the bed back, TJ. Go to sleep.
Damn.
He even did that in a recent thing on YouTube when, like, his marriage ended. He had no one, and he was fucking... He had to go actually clean... I tried to clean up his room, and he made a video about it. He couldn't clean shit. At least at that point, he wasn't trying to hit me up to do it anymore.
Yeah, your price got too high.
Yeah, the price got too high at that point.
So I got a few more kinds of anger
Yeah.
if you want. You make mountains out of molehills.
I could definitely be guilty of this one.
You find the fault in every situation and approach each conversation as an argument you have to win.
Yes, this is...
Okay, because this is the Scotty
This
one.
is the Scotty one.
Those are
for
traits
sure,
of a
dude.
person who, with conflicted anger...
from low
it stems
self-esteem.
from very low self-esteem.
Whoa.
Oh, damn, dude. I got low
Just a
self-esteem.
sucker with low self-esteem.
I guess if this psychologist says that, dude,
Yep,
damn.
You're diagnosed, Scotty.
I could see that.
Maybe you were made to look or feel inferior growing up.
Fuck yeah,
or
dude, I
picked
was.
on as a kid.
By TJ.
To compensate, you have become more aggressive. Instead of feeling victimized, you learn to be the rejector,
Oh,
explains
shit.
Oh
Sacco in
my
his
God,
book.
this is deep shit.
Dude, I'm fucking sitting
You
on
put down
Freud's
or
couch
reject
right now.
others first before it can be done to you.
Oh, damn, dude. I feel like
and
I
you
just got
create
psychoanalyzed.
conflict or deliver the first blow in an argument, so it gives you the chance to be heard, to prove you are smarter, and to show you're right.
Damn.
Yeah, you might want to be working on that
Whoa,
shit,
dude.
Scatty.
Well, I could definitely see myself guilty at least some of that, dude.
Your fuse is short and you fly out the handle.
Well, I think, yeah, I could also be guilty
Scotty's
of
this one too.
I know, dude.
Scotty's all of them. If emotion overwhelms rational thought or behavior, that's when anger can get you in trouble. That's the case with compressive anger, one of the most serious types. When you lose the ability to rationalize or control a situation, it may set off aggression, violent behavior, explosive outbursts that are out of proportion to the situation.
Oh, God, I've totally done this.
Getting stuck in traffic, for example, may lead you to pound the steering wheel and swear at the driver, or a perpetually overflowing trash bin in the kitchen might set off a screaming tirade.
Oh, shit. I think I've heard that screaming tirade from
Dude,
Scotty.
I'll tell you what, man. There's shit that I've done in my life that literally and I don't even mean this, and I am the badass internet way that I literally I've made decisions based on anger that I can't even talk about in the show. So I definitely know for a fact that this fucking subs me up.
Atlantic City.
Shut up, TJ.
Hide the bodies.
Shut TJ.
Whoa.
Your morals fuel your anger.
Nah, that's really
that's
doesn't
none of
happen to me.
us.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it. That's all of them.
Well, I think we all found ourselves somewhere very broadly in that list.
Yeah.
TJ's an online rager
Passive
and a
aggressive.
passive-aggressive piece
and
of
passive
shit.
aggressive piece of shit.
None of us really are anger avoiders, though.
I'm kind of,
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
probably
a
a
little here and
slight
there.
anger avoider, but I was more of the anger is my day-to-day type of guy.
Just
Look at
your
this
brain on
Look
anger,
at this
TJ.
angry brain. You couldn't even get a fucking. Look, you stole from Stook Unlimited. Stook. Does it say
I like.
Stook.
I know I did, but I really like this angry little brain.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like a very kind of cutesy little angry brain, TJ. My
Oh,
brain.
there you go.
I think in the brain.
So, how about the physiological response to anger? And this,
I don't know. How about it, Scotty?
How
Why don't you
about
tell
it,
me?
TJ?
Well, you were talking a little bit about it when you were describing your anger.
Yeah,
TJ.
I mean, I tried to describe what
That
anger
heat.
actually feels like.
that heat,
Yeah.
that kind of like feeling, that kind of twisty feeling in your gut, that kind of building feeling of tension
But here's
in
the
your
thing about-
shoulders,
You
and your
get
body.
the, you get the
let me ask you guys
anger,
this.
like the shaking anger ever.
Yeah.
I get that a lot with people. Like, I'm really mad at somebody, I start fucking like shaking.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
hate
yeah.
them so bad.
I'll feel it sometimes if I'm repressing anger, like if I get in like a heated political discussion with somebody or something and we really don't see eye to eye and I'm trying to still maintain like the rational exterior.
Right.
You start feeling it in your chest like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, that fucking.
Oh yeah, your heart starts beating faster.
And maybe you start feeling it in your ears a little bit, like pressure and like, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. I feel like you're moving the goalpost a little there, you know?
Yeah.
You know, something like that, and you're trying to fucking maintain and be like,
Maintain
I'm
your
not
rage.
pissed right now. But no, but let me ask you guys this, though, because this is something that I've talked to a few people about in terms of anger. that I get different responses on.
Okay.
Does anger feel good or bad?
It depends on the anger. Like, dude, trying to sum up anger into one kind of anger.
Right, that's true.
Like, there's a righteous anger that comes with being right at the end of something that's gone horribly wrong, that feels kind of good and self-serving in a way.
But just in general, do you feel like anger feels good to you or bad to you?
It's hard for me to answer.
I would say for me,
sometimes it feels really good.
Sometimes it's if I regret the anger, or I think I was.
I'm talking about in the moment.
In the moment, usually I think if you're angry, usually I would say I have like a positive feeling about it because it's like I'm right about this.
See, and I kind of thought that everyone felt that way because that's how I feel. I feel like in the moment, anger feels fucking amazing. But I've talked to people, like especially like Chelsea, my wife, who like she does like it's horrible for her to get angry. She does not like to be angry. It's like it makes her fucking sad to be angry, you know, and it's like a painful thing. And she doesn't like it at all.
Some people feel like sick if they get angry.
Right. I don't feel that way at all. For me, like it's like that's one of the hardest things about trying to suppress anger because part of me is just like, yeah, the beast wants out. Let's fucking open the fucking cage for a second.
But I mean, ultimately, I think it's not healthy for you to be like that. You know, I think a lot of times with that, like in that moment, it's cathartic and you're like, yeah. But then ultimately, usually the way you handle situations or you react to people or you deal with people.
Right.
I think ultimately, most times, at least me personally, I ended up regretting letting that kind of that side of my anger just totally just take over me and just like rage out on somebody or fucking fight somebody or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, the physiological response. What is that about?
So there is certainly a hormonal. I don't know why I said that. Hormonal response. Of course, there's always a physical manifestation of anger. We just talked about that. But it's not an obvious one. Neas Harrow, a researcher at the University of Valencia, stimulated anger in 30 men with first-person remarks, basically just said insulting things to them, and found a variety of apparent contradictions. Cortisol, which you would expect to go up since it is a stress hormone, goes down. Testosterone goes up, and heart rate and arterial tension go up. Yeah. Herrera discovered an oddity in motivational direction. Usually, positive emotions make you want to get closer to the source, while negative ones make you want to withdraw. Anger has a motivational of closeness, which Herrera explains simply. Normally, when we get angry, we show a tendency to get closer to what made us angry to try to eliminate it. Like any stimulant, it has an addictive properties. You become habituated to it and start to rove around looking for things to make you angry. Rage has an illusion of power. The way of the Incredible Hulk takes a peculiar pride and destructive potential among his emotions. So basically it's saying that, in a sense, anger is something we actually, like, at a point you can go out and seek. Like you were saying, like people on social media can go look for that fight. They can go look for that thing to be offended about or they disagree with. Or the news story that, oh, this is what I'm going to set me off now. Oh, what did Trump do today? Yeah, I want to be close to. So it's like we talk about these people that are kind of fixated on things, and it's kind of
like the generation of like anger junkies, basically.
But just in general, though. But that's why you see that stuff where it's like well, it's, you know, people say like, well, if you don't like Trump or whatever, why do you keep talking about it? Or if you don't like Christianity, why do you keep talking about it? And it's kind of trying to give in, you know, to elucidate kind of why we have that response to that. We have this kind of motivation, you know, like kind of directional closeness to anger.
Right. Interesting. I tend to have like an instinct to get out of the room with people that I'm really angry at. So I can see both sides of the coin.
I feel like I've developed that just because, you know, I feel like the inclination is definitely like, let's fucking fight or something.
Right.
But I've kind of trained myself to some extent to be like, it's better to just like get as far away as possible.
Well, your anger also gives you the illusion you can somehow deal with it. It's like everyone knows that Donald Trump is going to be the president for 4 years, barring something crazy.
And no matter how much you fucking rage, yeah, I mean, it
or
does
point out lies or whatever it is you think you're doing. I'm fighting this fight. I'm doing this. It's like, look, it happens with every fucking president now. We know the fucking score. If it's Obama, impeach him. If Trump, impeach him. It's like people have this anger, and it's like there's no way to actually deal with that anger.
And they want their anger to translate into something happening, but it just doesn't.
Yeah. I don't know. I very rarely have any violent impulse when I'm angry.
Right.
It'll happen every once in a blue moon where I'll feel like this kind of violent impulse. But for most of my anger is kind of worked out through just verbal, assault, I guess is what you'd call it.
It's weird because like it's like I guess like a lot of emotions, you can sit here and talk about it with different people, and it's not the same thing that we're all describing.
No, I mean everybody's going to have varying degrees of it, and different things are going to make people angry, and people experience it in totally different ways.
And so, how do we even justify calling it all the same thing? Is what I really wonder.
Because we have to have an umbrella term because
Yeah.
they are linked.
Sure.
Your desire to beat somebody is linked to my desire to verbally eviscerate them. You know what I mean? It's the same kind of thing.
It's people have different life experiences, different way of coping with things, different way of dealing with like Paul, like you like to talk, you like to go and vent and rant, and that's kind of your way to deal with your anger as opposed to being physical.
Right.
You channel your anger that way, So someone like TJ is like, he has a much higher threshold in some senses for dealing with anger than you or I would. Because I've seen, it's like, like the IKEA thing, a big thing with you is like, and obviously you were justifying that anger. But a lot
To
of people,
some extent.
to some extent, but people thought, oh man, Paul took that over.
It was a little bit overboard, I'll admit.
But like, TJ or me on the other hand probably would have called and bitched him out and been like, probably wouldn't even have given a shit about the couch. Oh, fuck the thing.
I actually made some pretty funny content around that. I did
You did?
I did a whole haughtyology where I was like on the phone with them for an eternity, getting bounced around. It was pretty fun.
So guys, I want to maybe switch gears a little bit here, and I like to recite.
Talk about one of the greatest albums of all time.
I want to recite a poem for you.
Saint
TJ.
Anger. Is that what this is?
Fuck it all. Fucking no regrets. I hit the lights on these dark sets. Medallion noose. I'll hang myself. Saint Anger round my neck. I feel my world shake like an earthquake. Hard to see clear. Is it me? Is it fear? Madly in anger with you. I'm madly in anger with you. I'm madly in anger with you. I'm madly in anger with you.
Wow.
Saint Anger round my neck. Saint Anger round my neck. He never gets respect. Saint Anger round my neck.
Wow. That's pretty deep. It's pretty deep. No,
That is-
no, TJ, please.
Saint Anger.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Metallica's Saint Anger off the album Saint Anger. So the title track.
And by the way, they were right about it not getting Saint Anger not getting any respect because this is pretty much considered the worst Metallica album.
Yeah, it's a pretty
yeah,
reviled.
I actually have the last thing I have for this whole Metallica section is actually a 10-year retrospective on the album. So like saying, hey, maybe time was kinder to it, and we'll read that, but the short answer is no. So as a kind of a qualifying thing for this episode, Cheetah's like, if you do this episode, I want you to cover Saint Anger for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, that really was the deciding factor for some odd reason.
I don't know, but that's fine. I said I would do it.
Sure.
So a little bit about the making of Saint Anger. So Metallica,
Cool.
and this is a very turbulent album to be made, and it was not quickly made, and it actually took a while, and the band was going through a lot of issues. There's actually, if you are a Metallica
This is a
fan,
movie they made on the making of that.
Oh, is it filled with like interband drama and shit?
Oh,
Yeah.
tons. And
Oh, then I'm
tons.
gonna watch it. I've never seen it.
You should. I've seen it before, dude. I highly recommend this. Is if you want to see a Metallica drama, this is about as
Cool.
close as you get.
The making of their worst album.
So
sick.
Metallica rented an old United States Army barracks on, I guess it's the Presidio
Presidio.
of San Francisco, and converted it into a makeshift studio in January 2001. As plans were being made to enter the studio to write and record its first album in nearly 5 years, the band postponed recording because of the departure of bassist Jason Newsted. So bassist leaves the band, longtime band member.
Right.
So Newsted left the band in January 2001, stating his departure was due to a, quote, private and personal reasons and the physical damage I've done to myself over the years while playing the music that I love. Translation, he was tired of doing all this touring, he's already rich, so he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Right.
I'm comfortable with immediately writing and recording with a new bassist. Metallica opted to include Bob Rock, who also produced the album, by the way, as bassist. The band stated they would find another bass player upon the album's completion. So it's kind of like, look, this guy is helping us produce Bob Rock. He'll just he'll be the bassist on this album. We'll get a touring bassist probably, and we'll replace him.
Right.
So things did not go according to plan, of course. In July 2001, recording came to a halt when James Hetfield, who's the lead singer of Metallica, entered rehab for alcoholism and other undisclosed addictions. So we don't know what those other ones are, but at least alcoholism.
Heroin.
What, Paul?
Heroin.
Heroin.
He's on that heroin.
Heroin. Like the Cobain.
That
man.
heroin.
So Hetfield returned to the band in April of the next year, so he was gone for a while. So he enters rehab then, and he's not even back for almost a year.
Wow.
That's got to be like, on one hand, if you're his friends and bandmates, you've got to be like, wow, you know, I'm glad he's getting the help he needs. But on the other hand, it's got to be like, fuck.
But you're in a band. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
we're in the middle of doing something here,
you're not recording, you're not touring.
And you got to take like a year break.
and you're just gonna disappear for a fucking year. Yikes!
I mean, at this point, everyone Metallica's rich, so it's not really hurting him in that sense, I'm sure, as much. But it's just like, what are you going to do for you? They're not going to commit to other projects, so it's kind of just like, we're on hold for you. But here's the caveat to that. He was only allowed to work on the album from noon to 4 p.m. So even after he came back, he had a 4-hour fucking window he could be there.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a lot of time when you're talking about producing a record.
Fuck
multiple
no.
takes and shit.
Especially one that's already been on hiatus for a year, and that, you know, it's like.
And it's 5, yeah, so we're talking about 5 years when they started. In 2001, they were going to start, so now it's 2000, his run. We're about 5-6 years in now.
And he's the lead singer and a guitarist in the band, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
The frontman of the band, so it's like
Right.
they can go like, oh, yeah, whatever. So due to his personal problems, as well as Metallica's internal struggles, the band hired a personal enhancement coach.
Oh, shit.
I don't know, is it Phil? You think it's Towel?
It's either Towel or Towley.
Towley, I don't know. This and the recording of the album was documented by filmmakers Joe Berlinger and Bruce Sinfosky. The band's recording process was filmed over the course of 3 years. Subsequent to the album's release, the two guys produced it. I'm not going to attempt their names again, butcher them. Released it, the edited material as the film featured, if you're watching on the screen, Some Kind of Monster. So from May 2002 until April 2003, the album was recorded at a new studio in San Rafael, California, known as HQ. So I pulled the trailer for Some Kind of Monsters. You can kind of see the internal struggles the band was going through.
Cool.
I'm not enjoying being in the room with you playing.
I don't understand who you are, okay? I realize now that I barely knew you before.
And a lot of it's putting that's Lars Ulrich, the drummer of the band, and James Hill. So a lot of the drama was
doesn't
really
shock me.
Yeah, it was between those two.
It doesn't shock
The other
me
guys
that
are
they're
kind of
the
just like
vectors of
we
the
just
drama.
want to kind of make music and shit.
Yeah.
Been a beast, and it's sucked a lot of me into it.
So has Metallica. I'm just trying to pause it frequently because of
Yeah, we probably should, because like they're notorious for,
Yeah.
you know, being litigious and shit. Just don't even mute it if you're gonna do that.
I just feel so disrespected.
Oh, he feels
Epic
disrespected.
storytelling, one of the most revelatory rock portraits ever made.
I spent a large amount of my time trying to downplay my ego and be an example to the other guys.
I was straight up with you.
I think it's stock. Which part of that is unclear to you?
What have you been doing? Picking at me all night.
Save up the tension. Tension produces results.
If I hadn't had music in my life, it's quite possible I could be in here or be dead. I'd much rather be alive.
What is it you feel that you're not?
Wow, what a powerful statement.
Well, this looks like it's right up my alley. I love these behind the scenes where everybody's just at each other's throats portraits, because that really is how getting a creative project done is sometimes, you know.
Oh yeah.
And it's fun to watch
Oh,
from the outside.
We should make one.
And I really like the dude. When you watch the Bob Rock, the guy that produced the album in the studio, and talking to these guys, I thought he's trying to mediate with them, but it's like he's a fucking asshole, dude. And it's like you can really tell why, because these guys are going back and forth on pointless shit, like you didn't do this and you didn't do that. He's like, come on, guys, what the fuck? I definitely recommend you guys watch it if you're interested in Metallica. TJ, I know you probably won't, but I definitely recommend it if you're a Metallica fan.
If we ever end up working on a movie together in the future, then we definitely got to film some behind the scenes and do one of these.
Really hard on being the
Yeah, let's see how it
best
wraps
dad
up.
and husband I can be. Life now is pretty exciting. You don't know what's going to happen.
Dude, he looks like fucking. He looks like only a slightly less lame version of Vanilla Ice at this point. Not him, but
Like that. Bow, bow, doo, doo, doo.
Yeah.
it'd been better if an actually good album had come out of it all.
I know, right?
But unfortunately, that's not the case.
So how about some Saint Anger reviews?
Yeah.
I know you thought this was probably gonna be panned, TJ, but it's
Yeah, I
really
mean,
more
that's
in the
a
middle.
pretty respectable fucking score. I mean, the user score is kind of on the low side.
I think many Metallica fans are not a big fan of
the
this.
meta score seems all right. I mean,
I figured we'd read the negative reviews because who wants to read the positive
yeah,
reviews?
fuck that.
Garbage. That's the
fucking-
first one I saw. It's just
Yeah,
garbage.
Garbage. All right, so here we go. Here's the real shit. The guitars stumble in a monotone of mid-level processed rattle. The drums don't propel as much as struggle to disguise an all-too-turgid pace. And the rage is both unfocused and leavened with too much narcissistic navel-gazing. Cool.
That's a lot. That's a mouthful right there.
I
Holy
think
shit.
Village Voice says songs like Frantic, Dirty Window, and even the ballad-esque Sweet Amber Stop and Start cut to pieces by groove-robbing edits that replaced the guitar harmonies on which Metallica built an industry.
Basically, Metallica is known for guitar solos. It's one of their fucking trademark things in their albums, and this one
Right.
did not have any. So it was basically they stripped Metallica stripped their style from themselves. Like it was like we're gonna go in this new direction. People clearly did not enjoy it. It sounds very raw. It's a lot of it comes out like jam session kind of shit that they're just jamming out, practicing.
When did this album come out?
2004, I believe.
Dude, this might have been the album that they were touring on when I saw them on the Summer Sanitarium tour.
Oh no, 2003. I'm sorry.
Okay, then it probably wasn't. Well, I mean, it would have been out at the time I went to that.
Some kind of
So it probably was their most
monster.
recent album when I went to that Summer Sanitarium.
But TJ,
shit.
I know you say, "Hey, this is not a great album." You know, you've talked a lot of shit about it over the years. So Saint Anger was actually released on June 5th, 2003. It was originally scheduled for June 10th, but due to Metallica's previous battle with Napster, remember Napster?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And fear
What a worthwhile fight, huh?
and fear that it would be released illegally on peer-to-peer file sharing networks, the band pushed the release basically 5 days ahead.
So they just trying to jump the gun on something they feared had been leaked out there and was going to come out anyway.
So let's talk about the first week of sales. So it actually did pretty well, 417,000 copies. It debuted at number 1 on the U.S. Billboard.
That for now is huge. You gotta understand, like the record industry at this time was in the process of dying. It wasn't already dead like it is now. So like if you sold that many albums now, you've got a huge release.
Right. But you know, like album sales are obviously way down because there's way more.
But at this time, it was
ways
still a
to
big deal, and
experience
it was still number 1. So
Right.
this is basically a 10-year retrospective.
number 1 in 30 different countries.
Oh, yeah, dude. If you go back to the top sheet, this is basically someone looking back 10 years later on the album. So on June 5th, 2003, the world's biggest heavy metal band, Metallica, released their first studio album in 6 years, so it had been a while, to the incalculable excitement and relief of millions of patient fans. The fans... oh, God. Then these fans actually listened to Saint Anger. Damn. So you already know where this is going. It has been said the measure of any work of art can be properly assessed over a long period of time, and rock history is certainly littered with countless albums that were initially panned, ignored, or simply misunderstood, but then achieved a retrospective legendary status several years or even decades later. Not so Saint Anger, however. Even now, with a decade of educated hindsight to put perspective on the album's convoluted creative process, helpfully documented in the wince-inducing detail by the accompanied some kind of monster documentary, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone beyond the most sycophantic fan club members capable of conjuring up enough excuses to justify the huge folly of Metallica's 8th studio LP. So, how can they? Some kind of monster provides vivid and incontrovertible evidence of the band's depths of dysfunction following the departure of longtime bassist / punching bag Jason Newsted, and the fallout resulting from Lars Ulrich's
was that what's going on?
Personal crusade against Napster.
So was he like the band? Was he like the band bitch that was just like meh?
Yeah.
I saw some of that. It's not clear,
So
but
they
some
lost
people,
their little pressure valve.
yeah, it's kind of like he was the low man on the totem pole. And I mean, really, this band for the most part, the two driving forces are James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich. They've always been the kind of the driving force, and like this album kind of changed it because I remember like I was watching interviews about it, and they're like, well, everyone kind of got in the studio and wrote shit and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, clearly that shouldn't have happened because the formula you guys had before. I know a lot of people say Load and Reload, which is the albums that came before this. You know, a lot of people fucking hate those albums, Metallica. So a lot of people think Beyond the Black album, yeah, Metallica sucks. A lot of people have that opinion.
Sure.
So, but I mean, this Saint Anger is especially hated. Like, it's one of the albums that like very few people I know that like Metallica have gone back. Oh yeah, I love Saint Anger. I want to listen to that. So I pretty much agree with the assessment. It's just like this doesn't stand the test of time. It wasn't a good style for Metallica, and the proof is kind of like, look, they didn't go back to the style. They completely abandoned it. They moved on with a different guy produced the albums, going forward. Which I think the next one after this was Death Magnetic, which is a way better Metallica album.
It actually sounds like a Metallica album.
It does.
I'll give it that much for sure.
That's basically what I polled on as far as Saint Anger is concerned, TJ.
Well, there you go. Are you satisfied, TJ, with his coverage of Saint Anger?
Marginally.
Marginally?
Are you angry about the coverage, TJ?
I'm not angry.
Are you going to unleash some kind of monster on us, TJ?
Yeah, some kind of monster. I don't know.
You know what this is, TJ?
Road rage.
This is fucking road rage, buddy. This is something we've all experienced in our lives, I'm sure.
Not me.
So mean.
Not me.
Why is he being so mean? Just drive the fucking minivan.
Paul has a kind of road rage. It's not really road rage. It's someone. There's a story you told. That's one of the first stories I remember. Like we first started, because obviously you and TJ made some videos back and forth in the day. But it was like, then you came on like DP and you were like, tell me the story about the guy that flipped. He was walking across a crosswalk and just flipped you off randomly.
Yeah. He just. Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
I think it was like didn't someone like you were someone was like you were in like Madeira and guy just flipped you off randomly or went off on you or something.
Oh, there's a bum that walked.
The bum.
There was a homeless dude that used to walk around in Madeira, and he always had toilet paper stuffed up his nose. And if you asked him about it, he'd flip you off, and then he would tell you that it was because they were releasing shit into the air, and he didn't want to get the shit in the air, and he'd ride around on his bicycle, and if you drove by him, he'd do this to you. He'd just flip you off everywhere he went.
So he kind of bicycle. So I just want to know.
He's got a crooked ass fucking middle finger too. I just want to say that.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any times where or any memorable moments where you really gave in to road rage or did something crazy on the road?
No, dude, I drive kind of like a grandma, honestly.
You do?
Yeah, I'm a pretty safe guy. Well, I'm not even saying that other people aren't safe. I'm just saying like I'm real like okay, fuck it.
Yeah, I can say I've never driven with Paul the entire time. So
well, you'll get to experience it soon.
Yeah, I'll have to. TJ, I'm pretty sure you must have had some road rage shit.
Not as bad as you, but. I don't know. I've gotten pissed at people and like follow them around for a minute to just. Fuck
I remember when you were
That's
younger,
crazy.
and we lived in Baton Rouge. I remember you did tell me a story where you did follow someone back. To
yeah,
your
someone
house.
like really. I don't remember what they did. They fucking did something where it really pissed me off. Oh, I remember what it was. I was driving down this road where the speed limit was like 60.
Yeah,
it was basically a highway, and as I was driving down, this car pulled out in front of me, like with. I had the second they pulled out, I slammed on my brakes as hard as I could.
Yeah.
And that barely fucking prevented me from hitting them. Because they just pulled out so fucking when I was like so close. There was like no room to stop. So they almost got fucking hit.
Yeah.
And so that pissed me off because they'd pulled out and it wasn't like it wasn't like an exit lane. I mean, they just pulled right out in front of me when I'm going fucking like 60 miles an hour. So we nearly fucking crashed because of that. And so I was so pissed at them that I pretty much followed them around for the next like 25 minutes.
Right.
And pretty much followed them home. Right. I don't know if they actually went to their own house or if they went to like a decoy house.
Yeah, I remember you telling me like at the time,
they're like thinking I'm a killer or something.
Yeah, they went to a house and like said like they like ran inside like we're calling the police or some shit, or yelling at you and shit.
I never saw them, so I don't. If I said that,
I guess there must have been some hot sauce.
That might have been a little hot sauce.
Yeah,
but in reality, they pulled into a driveway and I just kept driving, so that I could have some credibility of like, well, maybe he was just going something. It just was a coincidence.
Dude, I lost my shit one time when I was in Orlando.
Oh, you've lost your shit multiple times.
But the one that comes to mind when I did
Scotty drives like a grandma, but then when he does get pissed, then it's like, it's like, it's on, motherfucker, we gonna fight or what? But anyway, tell your Orlando one.
So I was like, I remember that. I think it was like me and you. No, actually you weren't there. It was Monica, it was my ex-girlfriend. We were at Disney World and we're staying off the property. So I go to a Walgreens and like this person, I don't know what the fuck it was, but like some bullshit happened. And I literally just reversed the car. I didn't even look back. And I almost fucking hit their car. And I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker. And I zoom out of the parking lot. So they come follow me. And I'm like, and they're trying to get around me. I'm like, you ain't getting around shit. So they swerved their vehicle towards me, so I swerved mine back towards them. Like, so we're going back and forth doing this shit, just going fucking crazy at one another, and like somehow through all that shit, did not hit each other. But it fucking came close. Like they were overtaking me, I was overtaking them. Just some absurd shit. And I've had so many times like that where I've like cut someone off, or they cut me off, or I followed them. I've never done what you did. I didn't fall for someone for like 25 minutes. Usually after like 5 minutes, I'm like, I don't
that's
need to do.
fucking crazy, dude.
Dude,
I wouldn't follow anybody anywhere.
I've gotten fucking pissed at some people, dude.
At that point, it's not even rage anymore. It was just like
I'm
a
gonna get that
calculated, like,
motherfucker.
fucking with him. I wasn't really intending to do anything. I just wanted to freak him out.
No, me, I wanted to beat their ass.
Yeah,
I might be different as a driver if I hadn't been in so many car accidents. I've been in so many like really, really bad car accidents, and I've never been the drive. Well, there was one time, one out of the 4 that I've been in, I've been behind the wheel, and I was stopped at a stoplight when it happened. So at the end of all that, what came out of me was just a desire to get wherever I'm going fucking safe. And if that means some asshole cuts me off, I might say like, oh, what a piece of shit. But I'm not going to like, oh, fuck you, motherfucker. I just don't.
Well, that's probably the more rational way to deal with it.
I mean, I try, yeah. I can't think of any incidents like that. I have been on the receiving end of some crazy road rage, though. I remember one time I was having to drive in the middle of the night all the way up to the high desert from the Fresno area. It's a long drive, like a 6-hour drive. It's late at night, and I'm on this stretch of 99 going to Bakersfield, and like this fucking, I don't know what I did to him. Like, honestly, I must have cut him off or something when I changed lanes to get around a truck. But this person like was pissed at me, and that's a long stretch of road there. You're on it for like 2.5, 3 hours, you know.
Right.
So there's nowhere to go.
And this person was like behind me, and they'd flash their high beams at me and shit, and then they'd pull up next to me, and I'd see the dude in there like, fuck you, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
at a certain point, you gotta get over it.
right.
Yeah.
And then like he would get in front of me and like get way out in front and then brake check me a little bit, and then he'd get next to me, fuck you. And he did that for like, I swear to God, for like an hour and a half.
Jesus, dude.
And I was like, what the fuck am I going to do if this dude just doesn't stop this? Because it started like pretty early on in that drive. I still had like 4 hours left. But when we came to that point where you go up to Tehachapi Pass to the high desert and shit, he just kept going towards L.A. So
You're like,
finally. But like, yeah, like all the way from Fresno to Bakersfield, some fucking
That's
dude.
fucking
It's
nuts.
probably TJ, honestly.
Probably.
Maybe.
TJ was making a fucking road trip
Fuck
somewhere.
you.
Jesus, man. Did you ever do that to a Scion XB, TJ? A little gray one?
Yeah, maybe so. I was there and I saw
In California?
Sign X, and you know what? It was a big fat dude driving, and I was
Hey.
like,
Oh shit.
I was like,
dude.
you know what?
Mystery solved.
Fuck this little piece of shit. I'm gonna fuck with him for a while.
Dude, I've been mad on the road, but I don't think I've ever done an hour and a half. Maybe like 5-10 minutes, but that's where I top out.
It was pretty crazy. I don't know what the fuck I did to that
Plus,
dude.
there's nothing else for him to think about either. It wasn't like there was someone else to distract him. You know, it's like he was not in a city where it's like, I'm going to eat some food or go home or whatever. It's like, no, I'm on this boring drive.
playing
Fuck
games.
this dude. So road rage is an aggressive or angry behavior exhibited by drivers of a road vehicle. These behaviors include rude and offensive gestures.
Done that.
Oh, I like the middle finger here. Verbal insults,
Yep.
physical threats,
Yep.
or dangerous driving methods targeted towards another driver or pedestrian in an effort to intimidate or release frustration.
That's definitely a Scotty maneuver there.
I don't
yeah.
even mention stalking, TJ.
Yeah.
Which is what you've done.
Yeah.
So, TJ, you may be surprised to learn this. Road rage can lead to altercations,
No
assaults, and collisions that result in serious physical injuries or even death.
It's true.
And some of the strategies employed include long horn hawks, so you lay on your fucking horn,
Done that.
swerving, done that, tailgating, done that, and attempting to fight the other driver, done
See,
that.
I don't do too much of that. I don't really. If I get road rage going on, I really don't do any of that reckless, like I'm gonna crash into you kind of shit. Because I don't want to crash either. So.
I don't really do like I want to crash into them, but if they try to swerve at me, I'll swerve back at them. Like I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I've done it in a while though because
You're a fucking psycho.
dude, I get behind the vehicle, like a fucking wheel of a vehicle. I do get psycho
And
sometimes.
fucking Paul sitting there like, I've never done anything. I am an angel.
I'm not saying I'm an angel. I'm just saying, like,
The
I
worst
was
he's done is flip someone
I was
off
in
or
a
something.
lot of really bad car accidents before I could even drive a car.
Right. So you have like a super
I approached,
paranoia.
yeah, I approached it from a very cautious angle, and
Roger
that
that.
precludes me tailgating some fucking
And I can
asshole.
understand why, because the term road rage was first coined in the 1980s following a rash of highway shootings in California.
Damn.
Oh, well, there you go.
The term road rage has taken on a life of its own, describing any kind of aggressive or angry behavior by a driver towards other people and vehicles. So, like, actually, Paul, where you were from during the time period where you were born, it was actually people getting shot.
Oh, there was man. I mean, but it's always been that bad out, I think, on the roads. It might have been a rash of shootings in California, but I don't think there was a time where people weren't flipping each other off on the fucking roads.
So, according to the police statistics, about 1,200 cases of road rage are reported each year across the United States. Well, these are typically the most severe examples, which say a little about how often it actually really occurs. So this is like 1,200 cases of like,
Yeah, because 99% of this shit's like this isn't going to be reported to nobody.
Yeah, this guy, let's say the motorcyclist pulls out a gun, or this guy crashes his car into the motorcycle. That's like the shit that gets reported generally. So I was kind of like, well, how often does it happen? So there's a survey. So a research study released by AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety suggests road rage is far more common than you might think. The study, which is available on the Foundation's webpage, presents the results of a 2014 online survey of 2,705 licensed drivers over the age of 16. According to the survey, 78% of participating drivers report engaging in at least one kind of aggressive driving behavior in the previous year. So basically, about 22% of people are probably lying. Besides, like, grandmas or people that just, I don't know.
Right, so this is just the self-reporting shit.
And here's some of the most common examples of road rage. So, intentional tailgating, 51%.
Cool.
Yelling at another driver, 47%.
Yep.
Honking to show annoyance, 45%. Which I didn't really know honking was a form of road rage, but I guess technically people do consider that.
Sure.
Try to block another vehicle from changing lanes. That's definitely a example of road rage.
24%.
24%. Cutting off another vehicle on purpose, 12%. Which, I know you're guilty of that, dude.
Getting out of the vehicle to confront another driver, 4%.
Oh, damn.
Jesus, 4% self-reported that.
Bumping or ramming another vehicle on purpose,
3%.
Jesus. No, I have not done that.
What? 3% of motherfuckers responding to this survey are like, yeah, I've run into some people before.
So, as you might expect, aggressive driving behavior varies with age and gender. Drivers aged 25 to 39 were the most likely to report tailgating, yelling, honking, gesturing, cutting off, and exiting to confront the drivers. While drivers aged 19 to 24 are most likely to report trying to block another vehicle from changing lanes or bumping or running.
I noticed they don't even ask about, like, stalking them for fucking 20 minutes afterwards.
No, I don't. Well, I don't think that's normal, TJ. Male drivers were far more likely than female drivers to engage in all of the aggressiveness.
I am shocked by that. I can't believe it.
Nearly 2 in 3 drivers surveyed believe road rage was a greater problem now than it was 3 years ago, while 9 out of 10 drivers believed aggressive drivers are a serious threat to their personal safety, which they definitely are. If you're swerving a vehicle at somebody, I mean, that's pretty fucking dangerous. So I did a fucking search for road rage. I'm like, let's see what news stories I can pull about road rage. And most of the stories pulled.
Holy shit.
This was not one of them, but this is an image I found online.
Is this Florida? That's Florida, dude.
Dude, most of these...
It is. I see the peaches on that license plate.
Well, aren't they oranges?
Oranges.
Or oh, yeah, you're right. Florida's are oranges.
Is that a Florida plate?
Then it might be a Georgia plate.
Is it Georgia or Florida? I think it's Georgia.
That might be Georgia. I can't really tell.
So a lot of times when we pull news articles and stuff for shows, like we have to go back and look like, oh, okay, this is from 3 years ago. All the stuff I pulled was from the last few days.
Cool. So this is all just recent incidents of road rage.
Yeah, look. Yeah, dated June 11th, 2019.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the stuff, it was only, when I pulled it, was only hours old.
Cool. Car shot with BB gun during road rage incident, police say.
Florida, man.
This one's Florida. Several people were arrested Tuesday after police said they were involved in a road rage incident in Hialeah. Lieutenant Eddie Rodriguez, a spokesman for the Hialeah Police Department, said at least 2 drivers got into a dispute near West 16th Avenue and Okeechobee?
Okeechobee.
And someone fired a BB gun at one of the cars. No one was wounded in the incident, Rodriguez said. Officers later found the suspects who were not identified near Southeast 4th Avenue and Southeast 5th Street and detained them. So this is just... Guy got in a fight. They got in a fight over some road bullshit. A BB gun was fired.
Pulled a BB gun and shot at him.
Right.
Which, that could fuck your windshield up, so...
You'd think. It could, yeah.
Truck driver accused of shooting another trucker in road rage attack held on...
we can watch this story if
$750,000 bail, basically.
And shine. And you can see it. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful start to the day. Almost crystal clear.
Oh, my God. It's wonderful.
Cloud cover into the picture by the afternoon.
Isn't this about a guy that got shot?
I'd be hard-pressed to find a cloud in that picture. Wow.
Yes.
A pretty start to the day. The sun's
been up
since 5:15,
skip ahead.
so an hour and a half about at this point.
I don't care about the weather in this area.
Picture is dry.
I guess it's not. Well, we got the weather for the Illinois area.
Today.
Awesome.
Or Chicago, yeah. Well, Chicago weather.
Video had nothing to do with...
yeah, I thought it was actually a video of the thing. That was my mistake.
Man, these fucking news sites and these fucking videos have got to stop.
Well, on a positive note, we now know the forecast for Chicago.
Awesome. So if you're living in the Chicago area, you know, there's your 7-day forecast.
Let's not get upset, guys. Let's not get too angry.
So a truck driver's being held on a $750,000 bond after he became angry and shot another trucker in Hampshire, the Kane County State's attorney said. Blah, 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 blah. Charged 57-year-old William M. Lutz of Midway, Ohio, with attempted first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, armed violence, aggravated discharge of a firearm, aggravated unlawful use of a weapon,
dude.
And criminal damage to property.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of those crimes are basically the same damn thing, you know?
I think they're throwing the book at him, basically.
Yeah, I love how they love to stack charges like that. Lutz went to his semi-truck and retrieved a .45 caliber handgun. I guess they were arguing because they thought the victim's car was blocking the road, or his truck was.
Right.
So Lutz went and got his .45 cal. The victim retreated to his truck, climbed in. Passenger was in the front seat of the victim's truck, probably a fucking... what are they called? Lot lizards? Lounge lizards?
Lot lizard.
You know?
Lounge lizards.
I like lounge lizards.
It's a lounge lizard.
But it is lot lizards.
Yeah, I think lounge lizard is actually a different swarm of prostitute. But
yes.
I get them confused. But yeah, you know, truck stop whore is what I'm saying.
Whoa, TJ.
Lutz fired
Sex
two
workers.
shots at, I'm sorry, a truck stop sex worker.
Thank you.
Lutz fired 2 shots at the driver's side door of the victim's semi-truck. One bullet grazed the victim, and the other bullet struck the truck. Lutz left the scene in his semi-truck, parked on the side of the road at Illinois' Route 47, Interstate 90, and consumed 30 pills in an apparent suicide attempt.
He had a real bad day.
Damn, dude. Police found Lutz a short time later and took him into custody. So,
damn.
Sounds like a
road
nice
rage
guy.
does not
And
pay.
this was from the 11th as well. So this is yesterday this happened.
Yes.
Crazy.
Today.
Holy
Deputies.
shit.
What did
skip
Paul
this
do?
one. Skip this one. Skip it.
What did you do, Paul?
I don't want to talk about it, dude.
You lied to us.
Now, this video I know is legit.
Is this
that deputy was actually sitting in his patrol car in this church parking lot just doing paperwork last night when he suddenly sees the car with 2
Paul
motorcycles
Parkey.
speeding down the roadway. After one biker rear ends the sedan, the other one starts throwing punches, then pulls out the gun. Everything that happens next was captured on that deputy's body camera.
Let me see your hands. Get down on the ground right now. Let me see your hands. Get down.
The violent road rage attack was almost deadly, a bullet narrowly missing the driver.
I need another unit immediately. I got shots fired.
Zephyr Hills police tell us this motorcycle duo aggressively trailed a man in a car after an altercation happened between them about a mile and a half earlier.
Preliminary investigation indicates that it was a road rage incident that occurred prior to this location and that the motorcycles were following the Honda Civic.
Where's your gun? Where's your gun? On my back, right here. Do not move.
Investigators say this guy, Christopher Fern, was the one who attacked and opened fire at the driver.
What a retard, dude. He did it in front of a cop, so you're going to
We're told Fern worked as a ZPD officer for 7 months more than a decade ago. The 37-year-old was terminated for unprofessional conduct.
You don't say.
According to officials, this man, Corey Kitzler, is a known gang
Corey
member.
Kitzler, is that one of your aliases, Paul?
Hey, look, I don't want to talk about it, TJ.
Keep eyes on
Oh, you don't want to talk about it?
Whatever you say, Corey.
Investigators aren't identifying
Please
the
don't call
victim.
me that. My name's
It was
Paul.
a
You know
close
that,
call,
Scotty.
but he
Sorry,
walked away
Corey.
from the attack
Close
with
Paul,
minor
she
cuts
said?
and
Is that what she said?
bruises.
Let me see your face, man. Did he punch you or did he shoot you?
Damn, you got punched pretty bad if that's the question.
Did he
dude.
punch you or did he shoot
punch
you?
or shoot you?
Fuck me, man.
Yeah, if you got punched so bad that it's like confused
you look like you
for
got
a
shot.
gunshot, then you got a problem.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like a punch. Let me see. Let me check your face, man.
What happened, dog?
Dude, it looks like he ran into the rear of you and then started fighting you.
Damn, that guy was like...
He was confused.
Now, Fern was charged with attempted homicide.
I mean, when you got punched so bad, yeah.
And burglary with battery. Kitzler was arrested for violation of parole, reckless driving,
That's
having an
fucked
expired
up
license, and no motorcycle.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, why even bother mentioning the expired license? I mean, like, he tried to
Hey.
fucking...
He had an expired license.
You want to know everything about something?
I
Fox
guess-
is on the case, TJ.
I guess you're right.
Would you rather not be in the know about that if it becomes pertinent to the case?
I guess not. So here's another one. Another one. This is let's see. When was this one from? The last one. This is from the 11th. So that's yesterday too. And here's someone for the day before yesterday. Had to go a little further back.
Pennsylvania.
Police searching for man who allegedly choked woman in road rage incident.
Choked a woman during a road rage incident in Westmoreland County. Police released a description of the car he was driving, but they still
I swear to God, if
sure
this is you again.
Ross Gadati's live tonight to explain what happened. Ross.
Yeah, according to police, all this young lady was doing was maybe for a very short distance following this individual a little too closely, and that apparently set him off. It is a terrifying tale of alleged road rage.
It is a terrifying tale.
In the evening, there was a female that was traveling on Trees Mills Road in Salem Township.
Tale of terror.
For the 21-year-old woman, everything seemed normal.
And as she was traveling down the road, she said she came upon a vehicle and followed it for just a couple hundred yards.
Then as the two vehicles were near Athena Road, something happened.
The driver of that vehicle hopped out and ran at her vehicle. Unfortunately, she didn't think to put the window up, and he was on top of her before she knew it and reaching in the window and choking her.
The angry stranger had both hands around the 21-year-old woman's neck, all while screaming insults at her.
As she was traumatized, she didn't realize it just happened so fast, is how she described it.
Eventually letting go of the victim, the suspect returned to his car, but he didn't get in it.
And he had the wherewithal or smarts to try and stand in front of his license plate because she was going to try and obtain the registration from the vehicle.
Now, while the victim didn't get a plate, she did get the following description of the man and his SUV. The suspect, believed to be about 5'7", he had brown hair.
I'm sure they're going to find him.
In his 30s, with an average to muscular build. The vehicle he was in, a tan GMC Envoy.
Well, everything other than the 5'7" sounds an awful lot like Paul to me.
White man.
White, check.
Well, I do
30s,
walk.
check.
I do walk a little hunched over. You know what I mean?
Average to muscular build. I mean, she could have mistaken your
Brown
fat
hair.
for muscle.
She might have thought they were muscle rolls.
Yeah, 5'7". You know, you slouch.
I slouch.
Brown hair, you got it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I've seen you with a tan GMC Envoy.
Hey, I love my little tan Envoy, but don't try and tie me to this bullshit.
Boy. All right,
Yeah,
folks,
this is
if
just
you
some
know
bullshit.
Who this individual is,
Yeah,
maybe
I know.
Individual,
I know when the actual
individual.
story is over. Thank you very much.
Damn, TJ.
So
Why are you guys
I thought
why
it
are you
was
so angry?
appropriate, TJ. Talk about Twitter rage.
Twitter rage. There's no rage on Twitter.
There is
TJ.
an anger on Twitter.
Everyone gets along on Twitter,
The
dude.
angriest
behind every
social
post.
network that ever was.
It is.
Nuh-uh.
Trivial issue most sane people would ignore. That's an angry tweet, Paul.
Yeah.
A celebrity made a transphobic statement while doing a line of coke off a midget's ass. Twitter wants to hear all about it.
And it's angry about it,
In
too.
the age of the triggered, Paul, Twitter stands atop the mountain. Nowhere shall you see more indignation and outrage than the fair shores of our beloved Twitter. Wow.
It is true.
Including TJ Kirk.
TJ is one of the bigger, larger gears in the
blocked
Twitter hate
4,000
machine.
people. I blocked 4,000 people.
The Rage Beast.
TJ the Rage Beast. TJ the Blocker. The Fighter.
So this is it's a very angry individual, Paul. I think you might know. Did you pull this next article, TJ?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think you know who this is, Paul.
Kanye West demands apology from Jake and angry Twitter.
Jake, it's Drake, TJ.
It's Drake.
I said Drake.
You said Jake.
You said Jake.
I said Drake.
You said Jake.
So why don't you scroll down to so we can see the
Whatever.
anger.
Jake from the Bible Reloaded was on my mind.
Oh,
God.
damn. Okay.
Run, Jake. Run.
So if you scroll down, you can see the actual tweets, TJ.
Okay, so fuck all this. Free. Drake sent in a clearance request for Say What's Real. Do you want to clear? This proves shit faker than wrestling. Says Con. I don't know. What does that mean?
I don't even understand
Can
the
I?
beef.
What's happening here? Can anyone explain? I don't know.
I think the article probably did that.
Yeah. Scotty told me to go down to the tweets.
The tweets.
Still need that apology for mentioning the 350s and trying to take food out of your idol's kids' mouths. Yeah. Amen. Been trying to meet with you for 6 months, bro. You sneak dissing on Trav Records and texting Chris about how's the family.
He's basically saying Drake's full of shit, dude.
I told you I ain't tell Pusha about your son. It's all love, bro.
Bro, but don't play with me. You stay too close to be playing all these industry games, bro. Sending purple emojis when I'm dealing with mental shit. I need my apologies now. Not through Scooter either. Not through Travis. I would never intentionally try to hurt you, bro. I never even heard none of the diss records. That ain't my M.O. Never did a diss record. No tough talk either. This ain't about who could... Jesus, come on, guy. Who could pay to have something done to somebody. This man to man, bro. This been bothering me too long.
Damn.
Buying first 2 rows at Push's show got me hot, bro. What? This ain't about who could pay to have something done to somebody. Wait, they already read this one.
Yeah, we read that one already.
Stop this already, bro. You're getting people hurt out here. And over what?
Did he post this picture?
Then he posted this picture.
Oh, it's about suffering as a Christian.
Beloved, do not be surprised at the fiery trial when it comes upon you to test you, as though something strange were happening to you, but rejoice insofar as you share Christ's sufferings, that you may also rejoice and be glad when his glory is revealed. Okay, so relevant.
Yep.
Man.
Drake finally called.
I know, it just goes on.
Mission accomplished. By the way, not cleared.
Damn.
All right.
Not cleared, dude.
So that's some...
Well, Kanye, I wish I understood a fucking word of that, but you are a fucking psycho, and I love you for it. Are you still on Twitter? He's off and on.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I can never tell, but I always make sure I follow him when I see that he's back.
Let me check and see if he's on there right now.
I don't think he's currently tweeting much.
Okay, at Kanye. Yeah, he's got it. I'm still following him. He hasn't tweeted since January 1st, so... So, yeah, it's been a Twitter-free year for Kanye.
Yeah, the article does give more context, but I just like Kanye West is the crazy, lovable scoundrel that he is.
Man, come on, man. Kanye. Come on. Come on, Kanye.
Damn.
Come on, Kanye.
He don't give a shit, TJ.
Anyway. Oh, and then, of course, our president. He's super fucking fun on Twitter.
Damn, dude, this is all caps shit right here, too.
Yeah, you know when the president gets all cappy on your ass?
You know he's pissed.
Yes.
You know, you ain't fucking around no more. Who does the best Trump? Probably Paul.
To Iranian President Rouhani, never, ever, ever threaten the United States again, or you will suffer consequences the likes of which few throughout history have ever suffered before. We're no longer a country that will stand for your demented words of violence and death. Be cautious. Be cautious.
I like that. Be cautious.
Be cautious.
I love that there's 313 people, 313,000 people out there that are like,
98,000
I like this.
retweets.
I like that our president's a fucking
TJ.
retard. That's awesome.
Well, that's actually the number you gave. Oh, never mind. I misheard you. Never mind. You're good.
Yeah, this type of shit doesn't take place out in the public square, dude. It's not supposed to. Like, these types of words are supposed to be exchanged diplomatically.
Look at this little clapback, too, beneath it. It's some U.S. Sailors being, I guess, taken prisoner
Come on,
by
man. This is your army. Whatever, dude. Why are you trying to instigate with Donald?
Why do you want to poke that bear?
And still mad. I call this one still mad at dead guy.
So it was indeed just proven in court papers, last in his class, Annapolis John McCain, that sent the fake dossier to the FBI and media hoping to have it printed before the election. He and the Dems working together failed as usual. Even the fake news refused this garbage. All right. Good for you, Trumpy.
Trump.
And John McCain was already dead at this point, so.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
So he's
dead
like.
for a while.
He's sitting there like fucking. He's in a
whipping
feud with a
McCain's
fucking.
grave.
Yeah. With a dead man.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he's dead, Trump.
Yeah, and there's some total. Mr. President, I voted for you and supported you in the past, but I am appalled by your comments about John McCain. Can you have the decency to leave the man and his family alone?
Yeah.
The answer is
Meanwhile,
no.
120,000 likes for Trump, 245 for whatever this guy.
Can't we just stop attacking a dead guy who's dead?
No.
Fuck it.
I won't.
Not gonna do it. No.
He's a loser. A low energy loser.
Analysis reveals Donald Trump's angry tweets are his own, moderate ones from staff.
Yeah,
think?
well, no surprise. I don't think we need much analysis to figure out that when he actually sounds halfway presidential on Twitter, it's not him.
It's not him. Which I think is just funny. So when it's the angry bullshit, it's Trump. But it's good that someone analyzed it. We really discussed anything political at ZME Science, But this makes a good example of how much you can learn from a simple Twitter account by crunching a lot of data. David Robinson, a data scientist, analyzed Donald Trump's tweets to show the angry ones are likely his own, while the balanced and reasonable ones are posted by his staff. When Trump wishes the Olympic team good luck, he's tweeting from his iPhone. When he's insulting a rival, he's tweeting from an Android, Robinson writes. Is this an artifact showing which tweets are Trump's own and which ones are some handler? He found that the Android and iPhone tweets are clearly written by different people, posting at different times of the day, using a different language, and using hashtags differently.
Yeah.
Furthermore, his Android tweets are almost always angrier, more negative, while his iPhone ones are definitely more diplomatic. So Trump's an Android user. He's not down with iPhone. iPhone, it's like, congratulations to the U.S. women's volleyball team.
Android Trump does most of the tweeting in the morning, while iPhone Trump posts in the afternoon. Another big difference of Android Trump is the anachronistic tendency to retweet people's tweets by manually copy-pasting them and surrounding them in quotes.
Oh, Trump, you doddering old fucking grandpa.
Hasn't really kept up with the evolution of Twitter, I guess.
Copy-paste. Lastly, the type of words he used was also significantly different. The emotionally charged words like badly, crazy, weak, and dumb were overwhelmingly more common on Android, supporting the original hypothesis that Android Trump is the original one. Meanwhile, his afternoon iPhone tweets tend to contain neutral words like join and tomorrow and times. So what does this all mean? Well, basically, Robinson's take is this. Like any journalism, data journalism is ultimately about human interest, and there's one human I'm interested in who is writing these iPhone tweets, Ivanka. The majority of these tweets from the iPhone are fairly benign declarations, but consider cases like these, both posted from an iPhone. So this is iPhone Trump here. Worthless. Well, it
doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Like worthless at New York Daily News. Looks like Politico will be going out of business. Bad reporting, no money, no credit.
No cred. Failing New York Times will always take a good story about me and make it bad. Every article is unfair and biased. Very sad. Now, that sounds like the Trump we all know. It sounds like Android Trump, and perhaps it's a sign there is more to this account management than is revealed through the analysis. Perhaps Trump also posts from an iPhone, but more rarely, or perhaps someone from his staff is trying to mimic his style, or they simply had a rough day. I think it's them trying to mimic the Trump style.
Probably.
Like Trump probably said, send out a me-style tweet at the New York Times, let them know that they're a bunch of losers.
Real me.
Make it them show.
Make it sound like me.
Make sure they know I still
Make
hate
sure
them.
it's written in my usual intelligent style. It's like, okay, no polysyllabic words.
So a lot of this episode, TJ, you may have noticed, is focused on the negative aspects of anger.
Right.
What about the positive ones?
Yeah, the upside of anger. What about the 6 psychological benefits of getting fucking pissed off?
There are some, TJ.
Like, anger is a motivating force.
Hey.
You sometimes hear people talking about using anger as a motivating force by, quote, turning anger into positive energy.
Cool.
In fact, anger itself is a kind of positive energy and a powerful motivating force. Research has shown that anger can make us push on towards our goals in the face of problems and barriers. Like you were talking about Dad earlier. There must have been a reason he got angry, so because he pushed past these fucking problems and barriers, TJ.
That's true.
In one study, participants were shown objects they associate with reward. Some, though, were first exposed to angry faces. Those shown the angry faces were more likely to want the objects they were subsequently exposed to. When we see something as beneficial, we want it more than when we're angry. So you may want it more when you're angry. So when used right, constructive anger can make you feel strong and powerful, and help push you to get what you want.
Cool. Oh, hey, look at that.
Wrong.
Angry people are more optimistic, Paul. What's your excuse now?
I don't know.
It may sound like an odd thing to say, but angry people have something in common with happy people. That's because both of them tend to be more optimistic. Take one study of fear of terrorism carried out in the aftermath of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. In this study, those experiencing anger expected fewer attacks in the future. In contrast, those experiencing more fear were more pessimistic about the future and expected further attacks.
Gotta be angry, Paul.
I don't think so.
Get mad, Paul.
Anger can benefit relationships, huh? How about that?
Benefited, huh?
Anger is a natural reaction to being wronged by someone else, and it's a way of communicating the sense of injustice. But society tells us anger is dangerous and we should hide it. What does this do to our personal relationships? Oddly enough, research has shown that hiding anger in intimate relationships can be detrimental. The problem is when you hide your anger, your partner doesn't know they've done something wrong, and so they keep doing it and it doesn't do anything good. It doesn't do your relationship any good. The expression of anger, if justifiable, aimed at finding a solution rather than just venting, can actually benefit and strengthen relationships.
Huh. Well,
there you go, man. So getting angry, Paul, in your relationships can be beneficial.
I see.
So
Anger's not all
always be
bad.
angry.
Anger can provide self-insight. So, TJ, maybe you can learn something about this whole Dusty thing.
I don't want to learn nothing.
Anger can also provide insight into ourselves if we allow it.
No.
If we
I
allow
will not allow it.
A sample of Americans and Russians were asked
Well,
about
don't ask
how
Russians. Bunch of commies. They're going to tell us how to live now.
We know Russians are mad people, TJ.
Yeah, they got to learn how to live with that shit, TJ.
And they were asked about recent outbursts of anger that had affected them. 55% claimed that getting angry had led to a positive outcome. One top of this one third said that anger provided insight into their own faults. If we can notice when we get angry and why, we can learn what to do to improve our lives. Anger can motivate self-change, TJ. So you can say, you know what, I got angry, I fucked up, I made some bad decisions. You can fucking learn from that.
Fuck that.
You can learn not to use block bots, TJ. Learn to use them.
Fuck you.
You can walk away from the block, TJ.
Walk away from the block.
Don't block.
Anger reduces violence. So, Paul, you're saying you don't like to be violent?
I don't.
How does it reduce violence? Have you ever seen anyone be violent when they're not angry?
Yeah, but if you... I think what it's trying to say, TJ, is that if you properly express anger, then you won't have to turn to violence.
Although anger often precedes physical violence, it can also be a way of reducing violence. That's because it's a very strong social signal that a situation needs to be resolved. When others see the signal, they are more motivated to try and placate the angry party, which is like when TJ has an outburst or I have an outburst, whatever, it's like, hey, let's sit down, let's solve this shit.
Right.
If you're still not convinced that anger might reduce violence, imagine a world without anger where people had no method for showing what they felt, how they felt about injustice. Might they jump straight to violence? Probably.
You would imagine.
If you had no way to redress your grievances with someone besides punching upside the head, then why the fuck would you? I mean, as we know, that murder rates have gone down. Like I think it's like the 16th century, the murder rate per 100,000 people was like 500 or something, and now we're at rates of in some countries like 1 per 100,000 people. So obviously, insults can be beneficial, getting angry at someone, but just yelling at them. They said like civilization was started when instead of throwing a stone, someone threw an insult.
Right.
So hey, anger can reduce violence. Anger as a negotiation strategy. And I think this is TJ right here, dude. Sometimes people get pissed at us. I think this is what TJ is turning his anger for.
Right. Trying to negotiate with it.
He gets pissed off, storms out of the room. Then we're kind of left at a loss. Like, what do we do?
Right.
Just TJ using his goddamn fucking negotiating strategy.
Yep.
Anger can be a legitimate way to get what you want. In one study of negotiation, participants made larger concessions and fewer demands on an angry person than one who was happy. Because I don't want to do this angry asshole. Let's just give him what he fucking wants. Let's try to get this done.
Right.
So there's some evidence that anger can be used as a negotiation strategy, but it's more complicated than that. You can't just lose your... that's weird. You can't just lose your rag and expect to win everything you want. So you can't just get pissed and say, give me everything I want. Obviously, at a certain point, if you're negotiating, you can't just say, the deal only benefits me and fucks you over.
Right.
So it's kind of an interesting thing. So I kind of wanted to look at some of the positive aspects of anger when we ended this episode. It was like, look, anger, people overwhelmingly say it's all negative, but there can be positive things. There can be positive upsides to anger.
Why not?
Because I think as emotions, we kind of tend to look at certain emotions in a more of a light of, this is always bad, this is always good, like, it's always good to be happy, right? But if you're always happy, you're not, in a certain point, you won't be happy because you're only focused on the here and now.
You're a fucking moron, Scotty.
Oh, thanks for immediately interrupting after you come back from a long shit break.
It wasn't a shit break.
You don't even know what he's talking about.
It was a mere piss break.
Oh, whatever.
First of all.
Whatever.
And second of all, I'm tired of Scotty's bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Is that fine with you, Paul?
Why don't you address the anger in a positive and constructive way?
Positive, constructive manner, man.
Oh, yeah?
What the fuck are you doing, TJ?
Fight, Scotty.
What, TJ?
Come on, bitch.
I don't want to fight you, though.
Let's have a constructive battle of the fisticuffs. Come on.
No, I don't want to.
Come on, Scotty.
TJ, your prowess is evident.
TJ, can you just stop, man?
Look at these moves. Check this out, Paul.
TJ, I don't want to hurt you, TJ.
I'm watching. Oh, shit.
Wow, you almost fell over when you did that kick, TJ. You all right?
Yeah, you're going to hurt yourself. Sit down.
Don't throw your back up, man. Just come on,
seriously.
sit down, please. Are you all right, dude?
You scared, huh?
You don't want to throw your back out right now,
You're
TJ.
scared of the
in the prime of
ninja
your life,
power.
goddammit.
TJ, I just don't want to hurt you, dude. I mean,
You can't take this, Scotty. You a bitch. I know jujitsu.
Yeah, but you
do?
know kung fu.
You don't even know Gentile jitsu, bitch.
what the fuck was that, TJ? Sit yourself out, dude. Just come on. God, what the fuck was that? I mean, I know I've had some epic fucking fails on this show, but goddamn, dude, that's fucking hard top.
Whatever. You both kind of laughed a little bit. I saw you smile.
It's so stupid.
It was a pleasant.
We had one of those.
It was a lovable groaner.
Stupid.
Yeah. You still laugh, faggot.
You fucking laughed at my terrible
Now you gotta go
pun.
bleep that out, TJ.
I ain't bleeping shit.
Bleep
this is a
it.
patron episode.
You're bleeping it.
Oh, that's right.
I ain't bleeping shit.
Yeah, but you need to get out of the habit of using that word.
All right, you know what? I just got to get out of my system.
Yeah, you do.
Just got to get out of my system. Maybe I'll make the video where I say it 3,333 times.
Go ahead.
And that should probably, you think that's how many you have left in you?
And then I think that I'll be good for the rest of my life. I'll have said it enough, right?
All right.
I think that's how that works.
You go straight on ahead if you want to do that, TJ.
Don't you mean go gay on ahead since we're talking about the word?
I guess so, yeah.
The F word.
So,
the forbidden word.
Just want to give you guys a brief look into anger. So the positives of anger, the negatives of anger, just kind of find out. We kind of found this episode what kind of anger we had. Found out that I'm pretty much every kind of angry. TJ and Paul are different kinds of angry.
Paul's not even angry.
Paul, do you feel angry after this episode, or do you feel like you let your anger get released? Do you feel better now? You kind of learned more about anger, way to deal with anger.
I definitely learned a little bit about anger for sure. And I learned some stuff I didn't know. I learned that TJ's a crazy motherfucker that stalks people in cars and shit when he gets mad.
You
at
never
them,
knew you were fucking hanging out.
File
with
that
Paul.
one away in the old information banks.
Don't ever fuck with TJ in a car, Paul.
I don't.
You cut
plan on
TJ
it.
off, dude. He might follow you home, even though he knows where you live. He might still follow you.
He wouldn't
home.
even have to follow me home, but he would anyway. I guess.
He's a crazy motherfucker.
He's just a
dude.
person follower. I didn't know that about TJ.
Yeah, you did.
Well, that's all, folks. Unless TJ and Paul have something to say about the topic of anger.
I just want to say that anger is bad.
It's
and you
bad.
You should learn to
Don't
deal
do it.
with your problems without anger.
Wow.
No, that's not the point of the episode. I think you missed the point.
I think
TJ.
the point of the
platitude.
episode. The point of the episode is, Scotty, anger is like a hot stone.
Do we have to end the You just want to end the episode on some cliche fucking
Anger,
platitude?
Scotty, is like a hot stone that you pick up, meaning to throw it at an adversary, but you only end up burning yourself.
Good night.
Well, I feel an immense amount of anger at you, TJ, right now for making me.
Madly in anger with you. And you know what else? You know what else, guys? When you're angry.
What else?
When you're angry, Scotty, you'll make the best speech you'll ever regret. Scotty. Gotta learn about it. Control your anger.
TJ.
Control your
Are you
anger.
on like goodquotes.org or something?
Office like poster platitudes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's what I gleaned from this episode, Scotty. That's what I gleaned.
You know what I gleaned,
The
TJ?
angriest of us all, TJ.
I gleaned, TJ. Don't use block bots, man. That's what I gleaned.